For years, the idea that we are living in a simulation has become more and more popular. Even tech entrepreneur Elon Musk believes that we are most likely living in a simulation, stating that the chance that we are in base reality is 1 in billions.
Let's imagine it's 10,000 years in the future, which is nothing in the evolutionary scale. So given that we're clearly on a trajectory to have games that are indistinguishable from reality, and those games could be played on any set-top box or on a PC or whatever, and there would probably be, billions of such, computers or set-top boxes, it would seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
As the belief in the simulation grows, so does the amount of people trying to break it. These people call themselves randonauts. Randonauts use quantum random number generators, or QRNGs for short, to generate random coordinates on Earth. People then travel to these coordinates in an attempt to glitch the simulation. Being in a simulation would mean that every action we make and the outcome of those actions would have already been predicted by a program long before we do them. Since our lives are generally pretty similar on a day-to-day basis, a simulation predicting our actions isn't so far-fetched. Even services such as Google Maps learn our schedules to help us. They use our location history and what times and days we are at said locations to predict where we are going when we get in our car, then use those predictions to give us traffic updates. As you can see, it wouldn't be too far out of the realm of possibility for a computer to predict our every move. However, since QRNGs are truly random, in theory, it would be impossible for a program to predict the coordinates generated. Additionally, anyone with a smartphone can be a randonaut. The bot that generates the coordinates is very simple to use and it is free. I will link a tutorial in the description for those who are interested. There are several different types of locations to travel to as well. There are quantum points, attractors, and voids. Quantum points are the simplest, as they are just a single random point generated in a QRNG. When attractors are generated, the QRNG generates thousands of quantum points, and attractors are locations where the quantum points are clustered densely. Voids are the opposites of attractors, where there is a low density of quantum points in a given area. Attractors and voids also have a power, which varies depending on how dense quantum points are clustered. In this graph, you can see what 1,000 randomly generated points in a 20,000 by 20,000 meter area looks like. The dark blue areas are where quantum points are concentrated, while the green areas are where quantum points are sparse. In addition, there are also intention-driven anomalies, or IDAs. The thought is that coordinates generated by the QRNG can be influenced by human thought. For example, one user set their intention as swag, and this is what they found. It is also worth noting that the user's name is Minion Goggles. When a person travels to these coordinates, whether it be to a quantum point, an attractor, or a void, to the simulation they are in a place they never should have been. In theory, this means that reality will glitch while someone is in this area. Many randonauts report odd experiences when they visit these random locations. In some cases, they report that their phones begin to malfunction at these points. Here are some examples. On the way to our first location ever, we passed a Mediterranean restaurant. My friend asked where the Mediterranean was and I forgot. In the alley behind the house, we arrived at a map with a Mediterranean Sea on it. Found 2 fancy pillows and bad vibes at an attractor. Took my 4-year-old on a trip and set the intention as the future. I always tell my daughter, when we are rich, I'll buy her a horse. Okay, I'm reading too much into it. Still cool though. Even some YouTubers have decided to try out randonauting.
This is actually quite bizarre. I don't know what it means or anything, or quite bizarre. It's a sports field, it's a football field, but exactly at the spot, there's a, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's a goal. It's a goal standing exactly at the spot. And the thing is, I hate sports. I truly despise sports. I have nothing against it. everyone else is doing it or something. But you know, when I was a kid, my parents tried to make me play football, and I think I played for 45 minutes, and then I told them, you know, I don't want to do this. I dislike it.
Anyways, my first trip, it led me to this lamppost across the street. And you know, wasn't that special or that weird, but when I was walking up to it, I tried to take a picture just to share it with the Randonaut community and say, hey, this is my first, you know, my first point that I got led to. But so I took the picture, and then when I got closer, I went to take another one, and my phone started freezing, and it wouldn't take any pictures. So, you know, I chilled there for a little bit, just checked it out, and so when I was walking away, my phone started working again, and so I turned back around to take another picture, and as soon as I did that, my phone just turned off. And so I thought that was really weird, and then when I got home, I scrolled through my camera roll, and the picture that I took when my phone was actually working just disappeared. And that's not typical. I haven't heard that happening to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people take pictures of where they go. That's why I was going to do it in the first place. But that was my first experience, and I thought that was pretty cool.
To break the system even more, some Randonauts chain locations. They visit one location, then generate more from that point. The idea is that the more locations you chain, the more improbable your experience will be for a computer to predict. These strange experiences all may come from confirmation bias. Since people that set out on these adventures hope to find something strange, they may subconsciously point out things that they otherwise would not have noticed. Many experiences could simply be a coincidence, but since Randonauts want to confirm their beliefs in the simulation, they believe their findings are evidence of a glitch in the system.